Alright guys, so I just finished Astroneer not too long ago, and I feel like there was a couple things that I never really found any good videos online for. Namely, what you're looking at right now, which is my kind of building setup. Um, so, what you want is this, ideally. Um, you want to definitely get these medium canisters. You definitely need these platform Bs, and you don't necessarily need a large platform C, but it does make things nicer. So early on, ooh, I got all sorts of junk on here. Early on, your setup will be more like this, right? And I'm going to kind of start with explaining here. How it's going to work is you're going to have a bunch of materials kind of scattered about a little bit. You might want to organize it to some degree, like getting all your resin, or sorry, not resin, graphite in one spot. Then you might have like some metal stuff here and some glass and yada yada. So you'll have, I mean, I built two originally. I had two stacks of them like that, but one at first. Once you can build one, it only takes 4 iron. You can build two, so you're probably just gonna build two. So just build two, um, and then put all your medium storages on. I would say early on, build as many medium storages as you can. Just have them lying all over the place. It's a lot easier. Um, But yeah, so this is what it's gonna look like initially, and what you're gonna want to do is just kind of place stuff around. Let's say you need that, and you need one of these, and you need one of these, and then you just put it there, and then it builds it. So this way you don't have to, run around, go to other places, and this will just kind of do the job, and it's just nice because you don't have to move. That's the key part here. Now this is the more advanced. It's not much further past this, but you can get these medium resource containers. I think for like 1,500, 2,000. It's not a crazy amount of research, but it's definitely on kind of like the medium amount for it. So how the logic behind this is, let's say hypothetically, this is geared to build I think a medium, solar array. I'm just kidding. But let's just say, you need 2 copper and 2 iron, right? You hit each one. 1, 2, 1, 2. Perfect. Oops, I screwed up. That's fine. All right, letting it go. Bring it over. Turn these two off. It's going to suck it all back in. Now, what happened there is the material is always going to prioritize going onto a storage. So let's say, look, I got, two too many. Let's say hypothetically one of each gets taken off, and you're like, ah, crap. Okay, well, you put this back. It's automatically going to suck it up and organize it for you. Like super, super easy. You can put this anywhere, and as soon as you activate one of these to spit it out, it's always going to land on a storage. See that? Take it off, and then it starts putting it other places. Oops, what do I got going on here? So that's this is the best as far as I'm concerned. And if you need a couple from one spot, a couple from another spot, you turn it on, spit it out onto here. Like if you only need two, you activate the two, and as soon as two land, you just except for when I screwed up. As soon as two land, you pick it up, and then there you go. So you got those two, and then whatever. Let's say you need two more glass. Bam, pull it off, turn it off. There you go. Now, if you're new to this game, the greatness of this won't be obvious. You would have needed to play for a while because notice how I didn't move the entire time. I just stood here and I got what I needed, and it was minimal effort. And that's kind of what this game doesn't really kind of explain. It's like, watch, that's gonna get dumped back there, and I put that there, and I'm done. Oh, it's so nice. I love it. But yeah, so this is kind of like the quick guide for what you should do to make building as easy as possible. Um, it's I probably went through half of the game doing this BS before I realized what the medium resource canister did. I thought it did something else for a very long time, very stupidly. So yeah, that's the setup right there. Medium resource canisters, large, extra large platform B, extra large platform C, and then one just medium storage just to kind of transfer stuff back and forth. It's really nice. So now I'm going to move on to the second part, which is caves. I haven't seen much about cave exploration. A lot of people did a lot of things that I didn't necessarily love. Um, I feel like this is the best, so you guys can all be the judge of that. So what you want to do here is you want to get your terrain tool and then set it to ramp, right? Or not ramp, but I don't know what it's called, but basically where it builds flat, like flat surfaces, and then just build yourself a ramp down. It'll take take a couple minutes, but then once you let me give myself a little bit of a better entrance here. Whoa. But once you build it straight down, like it's real easy to take this bad boy down here. And at first it's like, oh, whatever, you don't need that much stuff. But once you get those canisters and you can come down here and pick up a 32 stack of, you know, aluminum or glass, it's not glass, I forget what's quartz. Um, this is just the best. So what I do is I build a ramp straight down and then I build kind of like a staging platform. Um, the staging platform just allows you to churn your tractor. It gives you kind of a bigger area. And then let's say for whatever reason you've explored this level enough and you're like, all right, I can't find anything nearby that's super obvious. I want to go down to the next level. You just put another ramp right next to it going all the way down. And you just hit it. And you keep doing it. The further down you go, the higher concentration of stuff you find in certain areas. So it's really it's really nice. I only have a few levels on this. I kind of built this after the fact on this planet. I built another cave that I ran through like a crazy maniac for the longest time, not doing it this smarter way. But yeah, so then what I would recommend from your staging platform is kind of go just straight out. I'll explain these in a minute. Just go straight in a direction looking for stuff. You can't find something, and you're gonna be doing it by foot. So let's just get to this spot over here, and let's say it's like, oh, here's some materials. Ooh, I want. So you can stop here, back up. All right, I should have built this little turnaround a little bit bigger. But then let's say hypothetically, oh, come on, seriously. Um, let's say hypothetically you want to go to, let's say, the left. Let's say you're like, well, let's go see what's in that direction, right? Definitely have a couple canisters on you, and then just build straight out, right? Go, go, go. When I was doing this, I had multiple. I'd have like 4 or 5 canisters on me. And before you get the oxygenator, you're going to want a couple canisters and a couple oxygen tanks on you. And that will be enough because as soon as you get low on oxygen, because the 2 oxygen tanks will take you far. I think they're kind of expensive to research. They're like 1,000 or 1,500, but it's so worth it. So I'm building this road now. Let's see where it takes me. Let's hopefully we're doing this together right now. So let's see how this works out. Where does this take me? Oh no. All right, so you build this road out. And then let's just say this is another resource that's not, this useless crap. And then you just build a ramp down. Oh, that one's at a terrible angle. I swear I'm not the worst at this. There it is. So you just build a ramp down to a better level. And then boom. Right, and then you keep going in a direction until you find whatever resource you need. And then this way, let's say running out of oxygen. It's like, oh no, your tractor's nearby, so you can just run back to it. And then you just make sure at the very end, right wherever your resources are, you build a big flat spot so you can turn around. I should have made this flat spot a little bit bigger, but what can you do? Oops. And then this way you can always find, you're on the one road ideally, but sometimes you might split off. Now, if you happen to split off, which is a problem that I had, where I had lots of just spiderwebbing roads, and I got lost a few times for 5-10 minutes, thinking that my base was in one direction, but it wasn't. That's kind of what I do with tethers. As far as I'm concerned, you don't need tethers, except for the very, very beginning of the game, once you get the tractor, you should never be using a tether again. Like, so see, here, I found this, and I mined up a bunch of it, you know, and then I just turned my tractor around. I unfortunately didn't have a turnaround spot, so it was actually very difficult to turn around. I fell in a hole, actually, that I covered up. But then this way, you can just turn around after mining and go back. Um, oh, there we go. So you don't have to worry about oxygen, especially if you build all this, because previously you'd have to have just tethers after tethers after tethers going through these caves, and it's really annoying. Um, and then, so let's go this way. Yeah, so here's some aluminum. God, I did not build any turnaround spots. Being really bad in this video. I'm trying to act all smart. Apparently I don't even know what I'm doing. So then, let's say hypothetically, you find the spot, you mine the stuff, you put it in your resource canister or your medium storage, and you're like, okay, time to head back. Turn around, do a 27-point turn here, because I'm the worst. Heading back. And then now, let's say you hit a fork in the road, and you're like, oh man, was my base to the right? Oh yeah, so here. I managed to build straight into my old crappy cave. So unfortunately, this doesn't work, but let's just let's just pretend none of my stuff is there. Let's say this went to the right, and then it went onto a couple more roads, but we don't know that from this position. So we're like, oh, well, let's open up the map. Where's the base? Oh, the base is to the right. So then you would head right, but if we remember, our ramp is to the left. So then you would go right, and you'd look for a ramp going up, and you'd spend time. You'd be like, oh, what the hell? But to avoid that is what these tethers are for right here, right? So what you want to do is put the tether on the road at the fork, but in the direction that you want to go. So now I know, oh, I need to go in this direction. So you head this way. And then now, this was previous thing that I did. The multiple tethers are kind of an overkill. You just really need the one that's in the direction you need to go. So whether you're coming from the right or from the left, you follow the tether that's further down the road. So then it's like, okay, then I go left. Where is the ramp to go home? It's like, oh, there's my ramp. Sweet. And then you head up. So this way, it prevents you from getting lost. So the main takeaway here is build big ramps heading down. Take your tractor with you, so you don't have to worry about building tethers all over the place. So you have, an oxygen source. Build staging platforms at the main entrance of each cave level, and then make sure once you do branch off and you're looking for resources that you put down that one tether that's going to take you back home. And then that way you don't get lost. It's real efficient, and it's very easy. You can see how easy it was for me to navigate through that cave. If you've played this game for any period of time, and you've done cave navigation, you've ran around like a maniac and couldn't find or found stuff, but then you're like, oh, I don't have enough room, I have to make multiple trips. It just sucks. I really wish I would have thought of this sooner or saw a video or anything about this sooner, so I hope this helps. Um, I'm going to move on past these two tips and just talk about a couple things that, again, I wish I would have really known early on. Um, the main thing, and you know what, this isn't even like my thing, everyone and their mother said this, but do auto research. Boy, is auto research important. Get as many as you can going. Right here, we don't have anything set up, but, for example, if that was one of these little research knobby spawny spots, it would suck it up off of there and put it into the research, and then it's just set it and forget it. And before you know it, you're sitting on 128,000 research. I mean, I got so much research just passively, and this was my original cave, but I'm only coming down here to show you my like auto research setup. So you can see these are going. I didn't have to set anything up. I didn't put anything in. These arms are all connected to two different spawning points. I got lucky. There was, I think, a 2 stack and a 3 stack of these pillars. So this pillar I think has 3 nodes on it that spawn that allows for research. That's these little guys right here. So normally if you just scan them, it'll give you, I don't know, 15 or 20. But if you put it into a research, it gives you double that. So you should understand that about any research that you find in the, oh, perfect, check this out, right? Boop, puts it in, and then it just starts researching, right? So sorry, and let's see, from this one, we're gonna get 145 out of it. When it, I wish though, is there another one? Here we go. Let's see how much this one gives. This one gives 45 or 50. So it's triple the amount, right? I don't think that's the case for all of them, but I know if you find those random researches throughout the map that they're like little white things with a red knob on them, those will actually give you about 1500 research if you put it into a researcher and not just researching it on the spot. Yeah, because I think they give you about, yeah, no, that's right. So they give you about 400 or 500, and you'll get about 1500 if you put them in a research thing. And oh, I forgot I have my skateboard on there. It's just it's much better. Any research that you find, take it to these. Don't automatically do it. But the auto research, yeah. See, here we go. Right, it's doing that one. It's waiting for the next one. It's got one primed up. Now you want to set these up in as many places as you're willing to. Currently, I have 60 um, a minute coming in. And you know, if you leave the game on, you go to have dinner, your kid's crying or something, you come back, it's like, oh, look at that, I got 500 research. I didn't do anything, I just left the game running. A way to kind of cheese the game is leave the game running overnight with auto research, and you'll get like 10,000 research out of it overnight. It's not a ton, but it'll get you through some of the earlier stuff. I think I did it once or twice. But yeah, so research is nothing new. Everybody and their mothers talked about auto research. I just wanted to emphasize how important it is. It's very important. Do it underground. Take all sorts of extenders down there. Whatever you got to do, just get it going. The next thing, and I feel like this hasn't been said, is get your tractor, build all the trailers that you can, and then just kind of go out and roam throughout the world. I don't have anything nearby that I can show you, but you will find debris like crashed um, life support pods or broken platforms with stuff on it. Oh, here we go. Actually, I got one right here. I can kind of give you an example. Broken down buggies that have stuff on it. Um, let's see. Does this one have a functioning seat? It doesn't. That's unfortunate. Is there anything here that's functioning? It's just a big broken rock. So you'll find you'll find very useful stuff early on. Like I started a new game. I think I played for about 2 hours, and I was able to get the tractor, drive around my kind of like area for about half an hour. I spent about half an hour driving around, and I was able to find 3 medium wind turbines, 1 medium solar panel, and like 3 or 4 wind turbines just by driving around. And that basically solves your power issue. See, so this stuff was probably like that or so, but it'll look like this. You know, if you're new to the game, at least if you're a veteran, or at least not a veteran, but you have some time on it, go do that, man. Like I couldn't believe how great it was. I might just load the other game real quick just so you can kind of see the base that I built in a couple hours. Yeah, there's nothing really useful. I would have picked it up earlier if I would have known. But you know what? Screw it. Let's do that. Was it this one? Yeah, here we go. So, here we go. See, I found, oh, it's 2 wind turbines. Oh, and I found a bunch of batteries. Yeah, see, I found a ton of these batteries. Um, and this is more or less going to, my power problems were solved. Found a couple solar panels, the wind turbines, the batteries. I mean, it was just, I probably got lucky. Can't say for sure. but it was it was really nice. And again, it only took half an hour, and this is only a couple hours into this game, and you can see I got my you know my tractor. So for power on your tractor, I recommend a small wind turbine and a battery at first, because the small wind turbine, it blows periodically even throughout the night, and you can charge your tractor while you're just driving around looking for stuff. And if for whatever reason your tractor completely runs out of batteries, your wind turbine it's broken, it's not want spinning, there's no wind, you can plug this into your suit and it'll slowly charge it. And it should give you enough to kind of like get you at least back to civilization. Like here, just in case, because I didn't know that it charges. See that? Oh, that's a lot faster than I thought it was. Look at that. Interesting. But yeah, so um, you can see, you can just see how worth it was. Definitely get your tractor, drive around for half an hour, whatever you're willing to do. Pick up all the stuff that's out there, bring it back to your base, just make it so much easier. Nobody said this. I wish I would have known. I struggled for the longest time early on with power problems. Um, and let me see. Oh, you know what? While you're exploring out, use your tool. Like, man, you cut a path through a forest. You don't let any trees or anything slow you down. Just get through the forest, get to the other side. Like, don't worry about how things look. Um, if you do early on, I promise you, you won't later on. It's just, it's so inconvenient to give a crap about how things look. Like, you can't see it here. I think that's, yeah, so there's copper all the way over there. And if you need to, just build a ramp all the way up to it, mine it all down, put it on your tractor, and just come home. Like, don't worry about figuring stuff out. Like, definitely use this tool. You know, do whatever you got to do, build it out however you need to build it out. Like, don't worry about it, because if you really do care about it, you can just always cut it back down. So it's not the end of the world. Um, I think that's it, guys. That was pretty much the main parts. The building storage thing in the previous thing, in the previous save, was it made things a lot easier. The cave system isn't the biggest deal, but it's nicer. Like once you kind of set it up and future proof it and prepare. Once you get the bigger tractors, it'll be a little harder. You might have to expand your openings. I think you can still make it through it, but I can't say for sure. Don't try to drill down. It's gonna screw everything up. The drill does not do a great job making flat platforms. That's on you. And the paver also doesn't drill. It's really lame that they couldn't create a better scenario for you outside of needing the big old honking rover. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully that all made sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll answer what I can in the comments. All right. Have a good one.